Dear students, this is me, Dr. SHIKHA Sharma, lecturer in English at Government Girls College, B.A. Today, I am going to discuss the poem Emily Dickinson's poem A Bird Came Down the Walk. Emily Dickinson was an American poetess. She has been regarded as one of the most eminent figures in American poetry. Emily Dickinson was extremely prolific as a poet and regularly enclosed poems in letters to friends. She was not publicly recognized during her lifetime. She died in 1866. The first volume of her work was published posthumously. Emily Dickinson was a recluse. Her seclusion during her later years has been the object of much speculation. It is thought that she suffered from conditions such as depression and anxiety, or may have been isolated due to her accountabilities as guardian of her sick mother. She is known for her poignant and compressed verse. The most striking quality in her poems is originality. Her originality lay in her choice of subjects for her poems. She had a romantic soul that found great beauty in the simplest experiences. The glance of a friend, a bird came down the walk, and so on. She belonged to no school of poetry and did not imitate anyone's style. She was influenced by Emerson. She cast a loving glance at all things, big and small, around her. She appreciated the richness and colors of the world. Another striking thing about her poems is her treatment of nature. Like most English poets, she too was both an observer and interpreter of nature. She had a great sense of joy for the objects of nature. One of her unique contributions to American poetry is her treatment of death. Really, her genius was best manifested in her poems concerning death, closely related to her knowledge of pain and longing for eternal life. This understanding of death was expressed in more than 500 lyrics. Death and the problem of life after death obsessed her. Dickinson is widely considered to be one of the leading 19th century American poetess. Emily Dickinson's life proves that in order to write great poetry, it is not necessary to travel widely or lead a life that is full of romantic grandeur. She pondered her own experiences and presented the things as they are. In this poem, the simple experience of watching a bird hop down a path allows her to exhibit her extraordinary poetic power of observation and description. The poem, A Bird Came Down the Walk, is a simple descriptive poem. It shows that the poetess is a keen observer of even small objects of nature. She keenly depicts a tiny bird that comes down to the earth to satisfy its hunger. It catches a worm, cuts it into pieces and eats it, and watches around fearfully. As a natural creature, frightened by the speaker and flying away, the bird becomes an emblem for the quick, lively, ungraspable, wild essence that distances nature from the human beings who desires to tame it. It is a daily occurrence but the manner of Dickinson of presenting it makes the poem memorable. A bird came down the walk. A bird came down the walk. He did not know I saw. He bit an angel worm in halves and ate the fellow raw. And then he drank a dew from a convenient grass and then hopped sidewise to the wall to let a beetle pass. He glanced with rapid eyes that hurried all abroad. They looked like frightened beasts, I thought. He stayed his velvet head. Like one in danger, cautious, I offered him a crumb, and he unrolled his feathers and rowed him softer home. Then oats divide the ocean, two silver for a seam, or butterflies of banks of noon leap fleshless as they swing. In the opening stanza of this poem, the poetess is enjoying her secret spicing. Okay, actually, this stanza shows the bird at home in nature, aggressive towards the worm which it eats. The description of the angel worm is being a fellow eaten raw humanizes the little creature and places it in a diminutive animal world. The poetess is enjoying her secret spying, which adds to the tension of the scene. The bird's dinner is a worm eaten raw. A human being cooks his meat, but the bird cut the worm into two parts and ate it. It is a law of nature. The bird did not know that the poetess was seeing it. I did not know I saw. Actually, in this stanza, this stanza describes the activity of the bird which came to the poetess, okay, which came in the garden of the poetess, in the garden of the poetess. A bird came down the walk. He did not know I saw. He bit an angel worm in halves and ate the fellow raw. A bird came down the walk. The poetess is saying that a bird came down the walk. A bird comes